will be starting, and then you will be finished.
All right.
Okay, amazing.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this amazing Microsoft 365 Copilot webinar, where we will take our time to show you demos, show you real-life hands-on experiences on how Copilot can be integrated into our daily activities as professionals. So our lecture for today is shared into two parts. Secured creativity and communications. And for secured creativity and communications, we're going to be having a resource person in the name of Omar. He's going to be covering areas like PowerPoint, Excel, security, and Word. And the other part is going to be communications that will be handled by Ayo, and it's going to be covering areas like Outlook, Teams, and Copilot Lab. So we're enjoying you to sit back, relax, get into it as we show you the limited possibilities that you can experience or you get to know about when you use Copilot 365. So the next voice you're going to be hearing will be Ayomide's, as he's going to be talking about communications and Copilot 365.
Thank you very much, Peace. Sorry, I think it's Omar is supposed to go first.
Yes, yes, I'm going to be starting, and then thank you. Okay, allow me to briefly introduce myself. I am Omar Riyad. I'm going to be the solution area specialist for the Copilot technology, and today I will be showcasing you the Copilot capabilities in some of Microsoft Productivity apps, along with explaining Copilot from a security perspective and how, in general, Copilot is created. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Whoa. Straight to the top, never going down, don't wait for the drop. Stand still, that's the motto. Yeah, brand new plans for the auto. Oh, foot to the ground, full throttle. Big energy for the night like lotto. Y'all talk lots, never this quiet, like a Seinfeld plot. Vault full of songs, all of them bombs, something like a minefield guy. Boom. Get it, tickets running out quick. Bet it, never get it out big. Said it, never had a shout it. They said I couldn't ever do it, okay, how's it? Fit a week worth of work in a minute. Machine well oiled, you know how I stay efficient. To do this written, I do this different. Hold up, wait a minute, I ain't finished. Okay. Flows the same now. Paved the way to snakes and fakes are chased out. Back to back to back, I changed the pace now. Had to stack the cash until the bank's out. Straight to the top, never going down, don't wait for the drop.
So this is just a quick starter for what I would like to be showcasing the Copilot. I hope it is interesting for you. Now let's move forward to what is Copilot in general. So what is Copilot in general? Copilot is going to be the new AI technology from Microsoft. Microsoft actually partnered with OpenAI to get you the latest updates. Copilot as itself is going to be an add-on technology or an add-on feature that combines the power of the large language model here in front of your screen with your data in Microsoft Graph. So what is Microsoft Graph? You might be all wondering. Microsoft Graph, in an essence, is going to be the API system. API stands for Application Programming Interface. That allows the Copilot to be integrated inside the organization to pitch whatever information that you're looking for. So yes, by default, your calendars, your emails, your chats, your documents, all of your things are going to be connected through the Copilot and through Microsoft Graph to be able to let the Copilot access them. And of course, we will going to be having this amazing feature. It's going to be the MT65 apps that literally can turn your words into the most powerful productivity tool on the planet. And lastly, we're going to be having the internet, where once you prompt the Copilot as an AI engine, you would simply have two sources of input. Number one is going to be from your organization, and number two is going to be from the internet, and you choose which sources you want to move forward with. Now, uh, okay, I'm talking too fast. Okay, I will be slowing down a little bit. Talking too fast, please. If you are sharing your screen, you can see everything. Okay, I will slow down a little bit. Okay, now from Copilot from a security perspective, let's go straight to it. Please confirm, of course, my skin is visible. If not, please tell me. Okay. So Copilot from a security perspective.
Omar, I think your screen is not coming up here. Can you stop
Seriously,
and
so
reshare?
this entire time?
Yes.
Okay, that's weird. Okay, let me share my screen again. So they didn't like see anything that I was presenting?
No, we saw the video, I think.
Okay. So it's weird why it's all of a sudden stopped. Can you see my screen again right now?
Yes, I can, Umar.
Okay. Okay. So let's proceed. Thank you, Issei, for like mentioning that my screen is not visible. That's weird. I hope you were able to see the video, Issei. So now let's move forward with the Copilot from a security perspective. So for starter, I just want you to know that Copilot is built on Microsoft comprehensive approach to all of the security features in front of you: the security, the compliance, the privacy, and the responsive AI. So by default, it's going to be enterprise ready. This means your data is your data, your data is your data. I cannot stress that enough when I say that your data is your data. It's basically your data to choose how you want to leverage. It's under your control. It's your own data. So imagine with me here to help you visualize what I mean by mentioning that your data is your data. Imagine with me that each and every person that we are currently having inside the Teams meeting is like Microsoft is renting him or renting her an apartment, a private apartment that simply is for his or her to know what's happening inside the apartment, and no one else will going to have visibility to your data at all. You are simply the only person who will have visibility of what is happening inside your apartment, and this scenario is going to be in your tenant. So by default, I want you to be rest assured that your data is not used to train or enrich any of the foundational AI models used by others without your permission at all. Now, to fully understand the Copilot from a security perspective, and how Copilot is going to be definitely secure for you and for your organization, because by default, let's all be honest here, we are all human beings, and we as human nature tends to have resilience towards any new technology. We need to make sure that this technology is 100% going to be secure for us and compliant, etc. So we will start by in depth regarding the privacy aspect here. So with the privacy aspect, Microsoft ensures that the customers will always have something called logical isolation of customer content within each tenant. What I mean by logical isolation of customer content within each tenant. Okay, I will give you an example here. Imagine with me here that me and my colleague Ayo, we are on the same organization, and we are actually attempting to host a webinar like this one also. And we agreed that this webinar is going to be consisting of 50 people. Now, later the day, also our co-presenter here, Peace, which is she is also inside our organization, talked or chatted with Ayo or me via Teams chat. She just asked about the webinar, and we just mentioned that we are attempting to host a webinar without specifying the number of people will be attending the webinar. So by default, if Peace wanted to know more information about the webinar and the number of people will be attending the webinar, she will never have this information at all, as if this information simply didn't existed, because it simply coexisted between me and my colleague Ayo. So this is what I mean by logical isolation of customer content within each tenant. Now, when it comes to the security and the compliance, both combined will be as simple as whatever configuration you as a user will be using, it will be inherited into the Copilot automatically without having to without having to implement it all over again. This means that if you have Microsoft Priva, Microsoft Intune, Microsoft Defenders, any of Microsoft security features, by default, the security and the compliance will inherit all of these security aspects for the Copilot, and it will be used for the Copilot as if it's going to be free for the Copilot to use it. Because remember when I very initiated this meeting, I said about the Copilot, it is going to be an add-on technology or it is an add-on feature. So by default, the Copilot will be added on top of your eligibility plans, and by default, it will be taking those security features and moving forward, it will be using it for the future perspectives. Now, lastly, which is going to be the responsible AI feature. The responsible AI feature is, in my opinion, the essence of why the Copilot is 100% secure. Because the goal here for the responsible AI is going to be restricting people from misusing the Copilot, which is the extra layer of security added by Microsoft. So simply, no matter how you're going to be changing your prompt to get unauthorized information to that is simply not authorized for you to know, you will never able to be doing that as well. And also one other aspect that I wanted to know from a Copilot as a technology perspective, or what is the technology that is based on the Copilot itself? It is based on something called Gen AI. Gen AI is basically a short terminology for generative AI, and what it's going to be doing is going to be formalizing and creating an entire new information based on your prompting. Unlike any other chat engine out there, this is going to be the Copilot based on the Gen AI, because any other chat engine out there is based on something we all know and we all aware of, which is going to be the machine learning language model. The machine learning language model, the way it works, is going to be the more users that they are going to be utilizing the AI engine itself, ChatGPT, Gemini, Bing Chat, I don't care what chat engine we are talking about, it will be literally gathering information, and by default it will be vulnerable for information leakage. However, with the responsible AI, of course, with the technology of Gen AI itself, it will be literally safe for you to be sure 100% that your data is your data and it will not be leaked at all. And of course, inside the organization as well, because imagine with me here a scenario that me as a user or as an employee inside my company, if let's say if I had a malicious intent towards my company, and let's say I want to access some confidential files, sensitive confidential files that I simply don't have access to, by default I will never be able to access this file, because simply me as my user credentials doesn't have accessibility to this file as well. And of course, vice versa. If you are the CEO of your company, by default, your credentials have accessibility to all the files that you have stored inside the organization. And by default, yes, Copilot can literally 100% get the files that you're looking for. To summarize what I have just said in the past, like I believe 15 minutes regarding from a security perspective, please allow me to play a 1-minute short video to just recap what I have just said regarding the security perspective, and then let's get straight away to the live demos as well.
Microsoft 365 Copilot is transforming work with the power of generative AI. It's built on Microsoft's comprehensive approach to enterprise-grade security, compliance, privacy, identity, and responsible AI. Copilot automatically inherits your organization's Microsoft 365 security, compliance, and privacy policies, so you know your data is protected and always in your control. It all starts with your Microsoft 365 tenant. Data stored in your tenant is encrypted and only available to the users within that tenant. Your existing Microsoft 365 permissions and policies ensure that data won't leak between users and groups. And Copilot users only have access to data they've been granted permission to see in Microsoft 365 using the same technology customers have relied on for years. Your tenant sits inside the Microsoft 365 service boundary, where Microsoft's commitments to security, compliance, data location, and privacy are upheld. The Copilot large language models, or LLMs, that process your data sit within that same boundary, much like other Microsoft 365 services. Microsoft does not have eyes-on access, which means no one can view your data. Your data is not used to train the LLMs. And our EU customers can be confident that their data is processed within the EU data boundary. Microsoft 365 Copilot, enterprise-grade security and privacy for the era of generative AI.
So this is going to be how Copilot is created, and definitely how Copilot is going to be secured for you and for your organization. Now, let's move forward to the fun part, which is going to be the live demos as well. So actually, I need anyone assistance of these people that are going to be attending this to providing me with any topic that you have on your mind that you want me to create a proposal, a report, a document about whatsoever. Allow me to stop my screen and reshare it again for a live demo. And please write it in the chat here, whatever like topic that you have on your mind. And Ayo, I need you to confirm that my screen is going to be visible right now. Just one moment. My screen is visible, Ayo? Okay, wonderful. So I see that there is no one who was able to give me a topic. So, okay, so no problem. Let's say that I will be giving you the topic. So first of all, once you purchase the Copilot as a license, what you're going to be getting from the Copilot is going to be on top of the right corner here. This is going to be the Copilot, and also as well inside the Microsoft Word here, the icon of the Copilot is going to be drafting with Copilot. Simply, I can click on that and I can ask it whatever I am looking for. So let's say if I want to create, let's say, a document about the benefits of AI in major organizations. So with that simple prompt, let's see what Copilot will be able to do. So as you can see, it's going to be starting generating what I asked it for, and by default, it will be bringing me that information. So we'll just give it a couple of seconds, and just like that, a whole of 970 words was able to be created. Let's just review it really quickly to understand that this information is 100% credible and valid. So the benefits of AI in major organizations is going to be AI has emerged as a transformative force in the modern businesses landscape, offering unprecedented opportunities for major organizations to enhance efficiency, innovation, and competitiveness. From streamlining operation to fostering data driven decision making, and AI applications are diverse and far-reaching. This document explores the multifaceted benefits of AI in major organizations, highlighting its impact on various sectors and operation facets. Of course, we are not going to be reading all of this file that has been, the document that has been generated. However, let's go to the headlines. Enhanced operation efficiency is going to be regarding data-driven decision-making. It's going to be explaining each and everything. Personalized customer experience, innovation and product development, cost saving, the list goes on and on. So wonderful thing here about the Copilot also is going to be me customizing what I want to customize. So let's say if I wanted to make it more detailed, And just like that, let's see what will Copilot will be able to do. It's going to be refining my draft, and by default, it will be regenerating the entire new information all again, making it more detailed for me. So just one moment to give it a couple of seconds here to finish what it needs to be finished. And just that, nearly like 1,400 words was able to be created regarding a more detailed information regarding the topic that I'm looking for. Of course, if you want the previous topic, simply go to the previous draft and it will bring you the previous draft that you were able to have in the first place. If you want the second draft, by default, you can go through it. Yes, it will be saved for you. Just keep it, and by default, it will be kept for you to utilize. Wonderful thing also here about the Copilot in Word is going to be, let's say if this file was provided for me by my colleague I. So, and by default, I'm too busy back-to-back meetings and I'm too busy to read this nearly 1,400 words. I can simply open the Copilot icon here and it will ask me anything about this document or give me prompts to try or suggest me prompts to do it. So let's say if I want to summarize this document for me, of course, I can do so, and it's going to be summarizing it in a template, uh, in a template for me, just like that. So as you can see here, it was able to summarize. Here is a summary of the document: artificial intelligence AI transforming major organizations by enhancing efficiency, decision making, customer experience, and more. And this is all of the things that have been listed here. Of course, you can make it more formal, you can make it more simplified. Whatever you're looking for, it can do it for you. Now, the wonderful aspect here also about the Copilot in Word specifically is going to be me like fetching whatever file, PowerPoint, document, PDF that I have inside my organization. So let's say if I have this file, Azure AI Fundamentals, and simply I'm too busy to read this file. Simply I can ask the Copilot to summarize this file for me. And just like that, I can click generate, and based on the content itself inside the file, a whole summary will be generated for me just like that. The main aspect that I wanted to be aware of is going to be if the Copilot is going to be taking more than 5 to 10 seconds to generate what you're looking for, it's basically based on your internet access speed. If you have faster internet access speed, by default, you will have faster results. So as you can see, this is going to be literally all the information inside the HREI fundamental summary regarding artificial intelligence AI and all of these topics. And as you can see here, you can make it as a report, proposal, storyline even, it doesn't matter. So also wonderful aspect about the Copilot is going to be letting me fetch information from PowerPoint. So let's say, because by default, me as a Copilot solution area specialist, I have so many meetings that I need to be preparing of. So some of my clients definitely sometimes they require an agenda. So I'm simply too busy to be writing an agenda for myself. So basically, I can choose the PowerPoint file and ask the Copilot to create an agenda based on this file. And just like that, I can click generate. And just like that, it was able to literally draft an agenda, an entire new agenda for me based on the file or the PowerPoint presentation. The comparing access to emails and Outlook introduction is going to be email management platforms regarding the online, the offline, and the Outlook application. So to prove that this information is 100% accurate, allow me to stop my screen and reshare it again to just show you that this agenda was actually made by a file itself. So remember this, comparing access to images in Outlook, and remember the online, the offline, and the application, okay? Just give me one moment, and of course, I will be needing your assistance to confirm that my screen is going to be visible for the audience. That's one moment. Okay, visible, Ayo?
Still coming up.
Okay, please confirm. Okay, wonderful. So as you can see, comparing access to emails in Outlook is going to be this PowerPoint presentation that is literally inside my organization. It's going to be regarding email management platforms, the online, the offline, and the application. It's going to be the online here, the offline here, and of course, the last name application. Now, to move forward and to fasten the process, because there is also I that I need him to be sharing with you the exciting news of how Copilot is going to be helpful for you to, as a from a communication wise. I will be showing you also a live demo, quick live demo for a Copilot in PowerPoint. And of course, if you want me to create a PowerPoint based on a topic that you have on your mind, please provide me the topic in the chat to be presenting it or creating it from scratch. So I will be sharing my screen now. And of course, if the screen is not visible, please tell me and confirm with me as well as usual. So I believe my screen will be visible for you now. Okay, wonderful. So as you can see here, once you also purchase the Copilot as a license, you will have the Copilot icon integrated here. Once I click the Copilot icon, it will be providing me with create a presentation from a file, create a presentation about a topic, or understand something that I need to understand. Yes, Copilot now can create a presentation based on a file that you have stored inside your organization. Simply by clicking on create presentation from and clicking the file that I need to be creating from, and by default, it will be simply creating the file that I need or the presentation that I'm looking for. This is the Azure AI fundamentals that I just literally created a summary about in the Word document as well. And the aspect here that I want you to be aware of is going to be something here that is going to be very important, which is going to be the more accurate the prompting. I'm not talking about the files that you're going to be fetching from your organization. I'm talking about the files that you are the presentation or the PowerPoint presentation that you're going to be doing it by yourself. It needs to be accurate as much as possible. So as you're going to be seeing here, it's going to be adding speaker notes for me as well in the slides, and also as well as generating the slides and loading it for me. Just give it a couple of seconds because the HRI fundamentals, as I have it inside my organization, is a very large file that contains more than 20 to 30 pages long. And this is a very useful technique also because if I told you that if I am your manager and I told you take this 20 to 30 pages of the Word document file and create a PowerPoint presentation based on the file, you have to read it by yourself, fetch the information that you're looking for, and then start creating your own PowerPoint presentation. However, with simply click of a mouse, I will have it right now here for me. It's going to be the agenda. This is the agenda introduction to AI and all of these topics. I'm just going to be tackling each and everything regarding what I need along with the speaker notes as well, as you can see. So nearly 60 slides was able to be generated just like that from me simply clicking the mouse and doing what I need to be doing. So one last thing that I wanted to be aware of before handing over to Ayo is going to be creating a presentation from scratch based on my prompting. So I will be sharing my screen again. And of course, this is the last time. Please, I confirm that my screen is going to be visible. Okay, wonderful. So as you can see, I can simply create a presentation about any topic that I have on my mind. So let's say if I have create a presentation about the IT roles and their importance inside multinational companies. And just like that, I can simply click on go and it will be okay. That's weird. Create a presentation. Let's do it again. Create a presentation about IT roles and their importance in multinational companies. Okay, let's give it a moment here. So of course, the more detailed the prompting, the more accurate answers that you're going to be having from the Copilot in PowerPoint as well. So the perfect prompt is going to be consisting of 4 things. Before I even finish, a whole 12 slides was able to be generated for me, exploring the vital IT roles, key IT positions for global operations and security. There's going to be the agenda, network administrator, are going to be also including the speaker notes that has been created for me. One beautiful aspect about it is going to be the designer. Designer will be letting me the ability to customize the slide however I want. So if I want the slide to be in that form or in that way, I can do that as well. Moving forward for the network administrator, let's give it a moment. Yeah, it will be generating this for me. If I want it to be also as a GIF, I can do that as well. And by default, I click on go, and it would be doing that flickering lights for me. So as you can see here, this is going to be some of the Copilot capabilities. Now, let's say the last thing, that if I want to create any image. So let's say that I want to create an image of a beach, of a bank, let's say of a bank on a beach, and it is raining. And just like that, I can create this image from scratch. Literally, this image that will be created for you will not be available on internet as well. It's going to be AI image generated. This is going to be also, of course, powered by DALL-E 3. DALL-E 3 is going to be the responsible for image generation and image creation. So let's give it a moment. Here is going to be doing this magic thing, and by default, it was able to be presenting with me this image that is going to be a bank on a beach and it's raining. And of course, if you have a wild imagination, and let's say if you want to create an image of a boy riding a dinosaur, literally a dinosaur, and it is breathing fire. And just like that, let's see what Copilot will be able to bring us with. Okay, so to tackle the questions really quickly, here someone, Olapsi, noticed that the Copilot icon is not set up under his homepage of PowerPoint. So basically, you will have to purchase it as a Copilot license. If you have it as a Copilot license, then I think you can be redirected to the support or revoke the license and assign it to you again. And by default, it would be here for you. However, like I said, Copilot is a license that you need to be purchasing. Okay, so as you can see, this is going to be literally from my imagination of a boy riding a dinosaur and it's breathing fire. Basically, what you're going to be getting from the Copilot is going to be limitless, depending on your questions or your day-to-day life activities. Other than that, I will be leaving the floor here for my colleague Ayu. Please, Ayu, continue. Take it from me. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, Omar, thank you very much. Yeah, it was nice. So basically, from the summary of what you've said, I mean, Copilot is in Word, it's also in PowerPoint. I think it's also in Excel and in other day-to-day applications that you use in your organizations, basically. So maybe if you are not seeing it in your own application, maybe it has not been added for you. Maybe you just ask the IT admin, they will help do that for you. I think it comes with a license.
And just to clarify something here, Ayu, the Copilot is an add-on license. You need to purchase it to be then eligible to utilize the Copilot. Then by default, you can check with your IT admin to see if he can revoke the license and retransfer it again to you, or to open a support ticket with Microsoft. However, Copilot will not be available until you purchase it as a license. Thank you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, this is actually for those who already have the license. If you have the license and you are not seeing it, then you need to check with the IT. But if you do not have the license yet, or you are not sure if you have the license or not, you can still ask the IT and they can give you clarity on what is available, right? Okay, so we'll be switching to 1 second, my screen. Okay, just let me know when you can see. Please confirm if you can see my screen, please.
Yes, I am.
All right, so we're switching to Copilot for communications. So basically, people who use ChatGPT, for instance, they understand how they, prompt, how they ask questions, and how they, basically want, the ChatGPT to help them deliver the day-to-day tasks, right? So from Copilot's point of view, it's more like an integration already inside your applications. So you don't need to go out to search on ChatGPT on your phone or on your web, and then you bring the information in, start to do one or two things. No, it's integrated in all the applications, the 365 applications that you already have, right? I think all you just need to do is to get the license and then you're good. So we're speaking now on the communication side, right? So one thing, I mean, for anyone who is more, interested in making sure that their day-to-day activities is well captured, you want to start from your email. I mean, if you go to the office, as you arrive at the office, the first applications that you might open will be Outlook. I bet you that, right? So why are you opening your Outlook? Basically, you really want to like get a hold of your day, right? You want to know, where am I today? What is missing? What did I miss, right? Let's now say it's on a Monday. Basically, you want to know how the weekend went, if there are any informations that dropped or slipped, so you want to start from that, right? So basically, Outlook also has Copilot, right? The Copilot AI in Outlook, you could customize an email prompt with options for length of, tone, look at people's viewpoint in conversations, summarize what people have said, prepare for the meetings ahead of time. For those who are in sales, there's an advanced customer relations connectivity with Copilot for sales. I mean, if you want to check about it, but you can check. But for today, we're just focusing on, everyone. You are in finance, you are in HR, you are in IT, you're in management, any place you are. I mean, Copilots and Outlook would really assist, your day, right? So I want to also talk about Copilots in Teams. But first, I would like to show you what really it looks like, because today we'll be having integrations with demonstrations and other stuff, right? So let me open my Outlook today and show you what it might not be the same, but show you what it looks like, basically. Okay, so it's loading up. And yeah, something I need to speak about. If you do not have your new Outlook turned on, you might not be able to experience Copilot, right? Because Copilot, the experience is best viewed with the new Outlook. So if you're still on the old Outlook, it will not work for you, right? So yeah, that's it. I think I'm having poor network, so it's taking time to load. Okay, it's taking like time to come up. So let me just switch back to my screen I was sharing. let's go to our Teams. I'll come back to Outlook. So let me play this video, right? Just want to show you what Copilot can do. Confirm if you can hear the audio.
No, I cannot hear it.
No audio, right? In second. How about now? Did you get the audio?
Still no audio. Are you sure that you are enabling the sound in the sharing itself? Yes, in Teams. Just make sure that on the top.
Okay.
And in the sharing icon here itself, in Teams itself, just make sure that the share sound is enabled.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. Just give me, can you hear now?
No.
Okay. How about now? Can you hear?
No, I can't.
Okay, so let's just run, right? So basically what it's trying to say here, as explained, I'm just trying to explain it to you, right? Let's say you want to join a meeting, right? Basically, and when you want to join a meeting, you do not have you're not available for that meeting, right? In the case where you're not available for that meeting, right? On Outlook, you could actually see the yes icon, the no, and then the follow, right? So here, immediately under the RSVP, where you can say yes to the person who has organized the meeting, you can click follow if you are not available, if you have a clashing meeting, right? So when you click follow, right, Copilot will notify the person who has, indicated or invited you for that meeting to say, hey, this guy is not going to be available. He would like to follow this meeting. So what's going to happen is that Copilot, once it is the time for the meeting, Copilot will will record the entire meeting, right? When it's done recording the meeting, obviously with the information of with the consent of the organizer, right? And then it will do a recap of the meeting. So basically, when you come back or whenever you're ready, you can just come and go to the same meeting, and you are able to ask questions about the meeting. Say, "Oh, hey, Copilot, what did they talk about? Was my name mentioned? How did it go? Is there any action point for me?" And that and that and that, basically. So that's how that works, right? And there's a lot in Teams. I wouldn't even show you one right now if you can still see my screen. Let me quickly do that. Now, let's say this is a case, this is my conversations in Teams chat, right? All right. So the Copilot also appears here in Teams. So what can this do for me? Let's say I want to ask Copilot how my day was, how last week was, if there are any, things I missed out, or if there's anything I really need to do, if there is any action point for me. So let me just ask it a random question, right? Now, this is a random question I'm asking Copilot, right? So, I'm not really specific right now. So, but as you can see, Copilot is able to go to my emails, go to my documents, search everything that has to do with me, right? And give me update and says, oh, hi, here are action points from your last week, right? This is talking about a sync. I had a meeting and it's asking that I was expected to provide updates on my assigned tasks, right? It also said it highlights each and every of the activity that it has reviewed that I have something pending. It could be an email someone sent to me that I have even forgotten. So what I usually do is very early in the morning when I can also come to Copilot here inside Teams and say, is there anything that I've missed? So Copilot actually monitors my activities for me to know that, oh, I have done this, I have not done that. If I have actually provided any update to any of these tasks, it will say, oh, I have provided updates to these tasks, right? So the AI capability here is more like someone is saying a personal assistant, right? It's able to track your activity and give you updates on whatever it is. And it even gives you references. For instance, in this case where it says number 1, I have unmet deliverables, it gives you, it gives me, right, the reference to which I can go and click and find out what or where do you get this information from, right? It could be a meeting, it could be a chat with someone, it could be an email, it could be a link I shared, right? So that's basically what I was trying to say, that Copilot in communication is an expert. It works more like an AI assistant or a personal assistant to you, and you can be rest assured that anything that you're doing, you don't really need to stress so much, right? So the next we have here is just an explanation of actually how that works. How the communication is actually working. People say, oh, Copilot is using my data for this data. No, that's not how it works. Copilot has been trained with large language models already, right? So what it does is it integrates the Microsoft Graph, which is your own existing tenant, the information you've passed, just like I've explained, my emails, my SharePoint files, messages and all that, right? It uses those information, it puts them together, and it gives me an info like an update, right? It also uses the Microsoft 365 apps. So you can look into Teams, you can look into SharePoint, you can look into Word, you can look into Excel, and like that. And it list goes on as long as it's within the Microsoft 365 apps, right? It also looks into the internet. Let's say I am asking it about, okay, now you can still see my screen, right? Let me just quickly show you this and say, okay, let me ask a random question. Let's say, are there any known let's say competitors in my industry? Just a question, like general question. I can sound very lay to him, and he's able to give me updates, right? So see what Copilot says. It goes through the internet, it picks information that it sees that is important, and it classifies them. This is what I got from the web, and this is what I got from your company. So it's even telling me inside my company, these are the probable, competitors within the people you are even serving, right? And then he goes to the web and gets top 2 competitors telling us, about what they are doing, especially what is shared online, right? So if it's not shared online, so we can't really get much information about them, but it has to be online, right? And then basically anything that you want to ask, as you would even work on ChatGPT, you can actually do it here. And another thing here, if you want to compare ChatGPT to this, obviously ChatGPT will fail because Copilot is smarter, right? And if you actually want to look for something to really compare, you might look at let's say GPT plus, right? Like the GPT-4 plus. Yeah, that's something that is very close to what Copilot is actually doing. But the better thing here is that Copilot is actually in your environment, so you're not going out. So your information is not going out from your tenant, right? It's more secured, and that is for that. Okay, something else. Yeah, intelligent recap. So basically, this is a comparison between the intelligent recap and Copilot in Teams, right? If you are using, let's say, Microsoft 365 E3, E5, and the likes, you have intelligent recap, right? It's an AI that was already created by Microsoft earlier before. So once you are done in a meeting, you can open it in Stream and see your meeting notes, follow-up tasks, and all that, right? The difference here with Microsoft Copilot in Teams is that it can actually give you summary, right? You can ask it questions with the summary it has given you. You can, ask it questions around, okay, what am I supposed to do? It tells you what you're supposed to do. You can even ask it, how do I even go about this? It tells you how you're going to go about it. Say, can you even give me an idea, like a sample of what my response to this email could look like? In fact, I was training at an organization, and someone said the day after that she just went home to go and try this Copilot out, right? And there was an email that, the email thread was very long, and she didn't know how to respond anyway, because they were actually waiting for her to respond because she's a decision maker in the organization, right? So she went home and she just tried Copilot and said, what do you think the response to this email should be? Copilot read the entire email trail from every single person who had submitted their own response and gave her the response that she should give. And she just copied it like that and pasted it and sent the email. Because she said, and I quote, I wouldn't have given response. In my years of experience, I wouldn't have given this detailed response. And she said, immediately she sent the response. So surprisingly, the next morning, her superiors were like, wow, your English is so clean today. What's like the composure was nice on the email, and I hope all is well. And she was saying, all is well, all is well. Obviously, they might not know that it was Copilot she used, but basically, Copilot is there to help you to make work faster, right? And it's actually not taking your work away. It's making you do the work, the same work you're doing, faster, right? Let's say you're prepare a Omar has said that you can to build Word documents. Let's say you want to you already have a policy document, and there is a change in the government, and the government says you need to do this, and this. You just take the same document and in Copilot in the Word while that document is still open, say, hey, my organization or my company needs me to implement this new policy that the government has given. What do you think I should do? Copilot tell you what you need to do, even create the new for you, explain to you how this policy should organization, and ask you if you want to let it to accept that response. So you, with your own knowledge and credibility, you can see that, oh, this is I'm a lawyer, this makes sense to me, right? And then you can add it to the document and publish it, right? So Copilot does so much in a very short time. Still speaking on communications, there is Copilot Studio, which is actually in public preview for those. It's more for the IT people to help the existing organization to build prompts better, right? So you can actually, you might wonder, okay, what if my data is in another CRM? For instance, we're using Salesforce, right? Or we're using HubSpot. How do we even connect you know, information that is far in one Excel or one format in some other places into our own organization, right? So with Copilot Studio, you can actually bring those you know, data that are elsewhere, you know, in some Synapse, some Data Hub or VAS or wherever it is, and connect it to your organization such that you can now go and ask Copilot a question referencing another file somewhere else, and Copilot goes there and fetches it for you. Now, there's something very important for you to note is whatever you want Copilot to reference for you, it has to be online. If you have a file and the file is stored in your local machine, like on your desktop, and then your desktop is not synced, it will not be able to get that file for you, right? If you have a file and it's on your downloads and you do not upload that file that you downloaded on your maybe your SharePoint, right? Copilot will not be able to go there because it has nothing to do with your local machine. Copilot is like in the cloud. It's searching all you are doing that you have uploaded. So if you do not upload that information and you're asking Copilot about that information, you might not be able to, you know, get the information from Copilot, right? You can also customize, you know, Copilot to build unique workflows to your organization. Let's say you know that your organization is getting bigger and you need to automate some things, right? You can build those workflows in Copilot Studio and then publish it so that anyone maybe who is in the department who has approval for such flows, they just need to click a single button and the prompt is, you know, Copilot understands the prompt and uses the prompt at once, right? You can also manage, you know, customization centrally on Copilot Studio. So that's basically what is in it for Copilot Studio. Some the summary here is that there's a difference between Microsoft 365 Copilot and the Copilot Studio. With the Copilot Studio, you can build your own Copilot, right? Which means you can create prompts, you can create the engine, you can create SAS, you know, and at the end of the day, you publish it maybe to your own organization. It can become maybe a standalone connector that bridges your data with maybe a third-party application that you guys are also paying for. Maybe you are in finance sector, you know, you're in legal sector, you use some other third-party, you know, you can build the API and connect it with, you know, Copilot Studio. And yeah, this is the costing for it. The Copilot you find online is free, basically. There is the one for individuals and there's one for organizations, right? So the ones for individuals is free. There is Copilot Pro, then it's $20 per user. Then there is the Copilot 365, which is $30 per user, and then there's a free version. So the free version is the one that you find on your Bing. Like on my screen, you can see this Copilot right here. This is the free one, right? You can click on it, you can search with it. It works basically like the ChatGPT, the free ChatGPT that you have online. It works similarly, so you can use this one. But if you want the Copilot in the 365, that is the one that you need the license for, which you can which integrates in all your applications. So you don't need to go out. Everything works simultaneously inside your Microsoft 365 apps. So basically, that's it. If there are any questions, we have just 2 minutes to answer them, and we will be out of here. So please, I want to hear questions around, you know, use cases, case studies, scenarios. How do you think Copilot can really work for you? What questions do you have around maybe how can Copilot work for me in this case, right? The floor is open. You can use the chat, you can raise your hand, I will unmute your mic from here. Or yes, you can actually unmute your mic. So, all right. Someone says is the price per month or annual. Okay, so Copilot is an annual license, actually, right? Copilot is an annual license. You cannot buy for 1 month, right? But I think if you are partner to Velvet, you can ask questions around how you can get Copilot, or you can partner with Copilot as a Microsoft 365 partner, and you get Copilot to your organization. Yeah, it's an annual license. Questions. I mean, can someone challenge Copilot with any question? I might pick your question and ask Copilot back the same question you've asked. Questions. All right, please, Olabisi.
Good morning, Mayomide, and thanks for a very insightful session. So I don't know if the session for the Excel has been completed before I joined, but I just want to confirm if Copilot is also very viable in Excel, and how do we then use? So the reason why I'm asking is because in my current role, we are also big on data analytics. You understand? So I'm just looking for opportunity to be able to leverage on the Copilot to be able to carry out some, even if it is basic data analytics. You understand? And that's the reason why I'm asking. I don't know if you have answered that.
Hello there, Olapsi. If you allow me here, Ayo. So basically, Olapsi, the Copilot in Excel will be working well as if you are working with your normal Excel in your day-to-day life. The main two aspects that I need you to be aware of is going to be the first thing. Excel needs to be the file itself of the Excel needs to be an autosave on, which is basically will be allowing the Copilot to have accessibility to the file that you are currently using. And the second thing is going to be the once the Copilot was created, it required that if the customers are going to be using Copilot Excel, all the data needed to be in table format. However, now because Copilot is one by one advancing, so all you need to do is just make the headers in table format and leave all the data by it is, and Copilot will be able to run through the data and understand your questions depending on what questions that you're going to be prompting the Copilot in Excel. Other than that, I hope this answers your question. And of course, Ayu will be sharing with everyone the needed links for everyone to look for it, to understand more about the Copilot. And yeah, and of course, if there is any questions, Ayu can take those questions, and by default, he can review it with me, and we can answer your question in the future if you have any. Okay, any more questions?
I think there is a question in the chat. Someone says, what level of integration is required if I want to build my own Copilot? Okay, so basically, okay, Koba, Omar, continue.
Okay, if you want to take this, please take it. Go ahead.
Okay, to build your own Copilot, I mean, you need to integrate several components. I mean, there is a lot, but you can also summarizing that, you can just say you need to integrate data, right? So there are various data sources in your organizations, like local files, SharePoint sites, websites, public websites, custom backends, so there has to be some level of data integration, which will allow your own Copilot to access and process real-time data, right? There's also it's also important to have custom topics and dialogue manager, where you'll be able to design this specific conversational flow for critical topics, which that you might be having based on your understanding of who those people are and your customers, who your customers are, and all that, right? So you would also use visual authoring or natural language, any which one works for you, and because this will help you to manage the dialogue and orchestration of the large language models for specific workflows, right? It's also important for you to build your connectors and APIs, because without APIs, really, it can't work, right? Because like the one we're using now is also an API that is connected to our own applications. That's why we can access it. So when you build your own Copilot, you need to also build your connectors and APIs, so that it will be easy for them to integrate, data sources and systems. I think this will also require credentials, from IT too. So whatever credential you might need, IT people can also provide. If you're IT, you already have what you need, basically. So any other questions?
So once we paid for the license, that covers the access to the PowerPoint, the Excel, as well as for emails. Once you pay for that, maybe $30 or $20 per annum, it covers everything under the Office 365, right?
Yes, and that $30 is per month. It is billed annually. So you should be saying, yeah, 360 or as the case is. However, there is still, you can get discounts on that. Obviously, that's what is published online.
Okay.
You understand what I mean? Yeah, so
Okay.
as a partner, you get the discount and you are able to, start using Copilots from maybe the first 5 people in your organization. You need to target people who will benefit from, utilizing Copilot first before you go other members of the organization, then company-wide. That's the best way, because it's important that you learn, the people learn how to use it from the top, and then you cascade it down. Yeah.
Very clear. Very clear. Thanks.
Right. Thank you very much, Olabisi. Any questions? We have to run. Take one more question and we run. One more question. Anyone? Okay. All right. I would share that. I would share that. And thank you very much, Olabisi. It's also on YouTube. If you go to Velvet, check our page on YouTube, you would see we are also live there, so you can just access it directly, download it, use it however you like, come back again to see it, back forth, we are always there for you. So thank you guys very much for having this time out with us. We'll be ending now. See you same place, same time next time, I guess. And anyone that is having anything specific that wants to get to know more about Copilot, you can just email us back,